Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Brittnee. Today is a highly requested video and a topic that's been going viral online, especially on TikTok. And honestly, I'm a bit late to the party. But anyway, today I'm making the Dubai chocolate bar. Now, in my last video, I made homemade pistachio praline, and I'll be testing that in today's bar because I've seen a lot of chocolatiers online using homemade praline as part of their Dubai chocolate filling, but just by the texture and the color of the original bar, personally, I don't think that's what the creator uses. The filling is green in color and isn't a very stiff texture. It looks really creamy and soft. And a lot of places I'm seeing online that are remaking this bar use something called pistachio cream, which is a product that you buy already made. So I'm also going to try the recipe using that as the base, as well as the homemade pistachio praline. So I'll make the recipe with both of those bases, and then when I'm done, I'll compare and contrast. I'll look at the color, texture, and flavor, as well as watch what happens to both of the bars during storage. And I'll report back on the results of that in a YouTube short in the next couple of weeks. My first thought when I saw people making this is that there is no way that the toasted Kataifi could stay crunchy over time, sitting in that creamy filling without first being like coated in cocoa butter or chocolate or something. So that will be interesting to see how the crunchiness goes over time. But then I've read online what people are actually struggling with is fat migration. So the fat from the nuts in the filling kind of move through the chocolate in the shell, and they can cause blooming or texture changes. So we shall see what happens with that over time. It'll be interesting. Oh, and just FYI, in today's video, I will just be showing you how to make the Dubai chocolate bar filling. And then in my next video, I will walk you through the process of how I make all the pretty green designs. So let's get into this. I'm excited to show you my version of the Dubai chocolate bar, and I'm excited to taste it for the very first time. So here are the ingredients that you'll need. Pistachio cream, tahini, salted butter, and a box of Kataifi, which is a shredded phyllo dough. So just a couple quick notes on the ingredient list. The pistachio cream you can buy off of Amazon, and I will link it down below. Tahini is really easy to find. I think most grocery stores have some. I've definitely seen it at Whole Foods, but I bought mine at a Mediterranean store. And then same with the Kataifi. I've seen it on Amazon, but I don't know how smart that is to order it. It should be refrigerated. So that I also found at the Mediterranean store. So if you don't know where to buy some, I would just search in Google near you, Mediterranean or Middle Eastern markets. And I'll be honest, this is the first time I'm making these, so I'm just winging it. Online, it seems like everyone mixes things up just a little bit differently and to a bit of a different consistency. So my plan is just to mix things together until I get the flavor and consistency that I want. And then I'll type up the final measurements and include them for you down in the description below when I'm done. So the first thing that you need to do is chop up the Kataifi. I just roughly chop it so that the pieces don't stay super long. I'd say my pieces ended up looking similar to like long grain rice. I didn't know how much I'd use, so I just went ahead and chopped up the whole box. Next, I warm up a pan on the stove on medium heat. Here I add 4 tablespoons or a half of a cube of butter. I like this pan because it has tall edges and can hold a lot and makes things easy to stir around without making too much of a mess. Once all the butter is melted, I add in about 2 cups of the chopped Kataifi. I stir that around to get it all coated in the butter evenly, and then as it cooks, I stir it around occasionally until the pieces get toasted and the full mix is a nice golden brown color. Once I reach that, I dump the toasted Kataifi onto a sheet tray and spread it out to cool down. I ended up repeating this process again, so in total I used a full stick of butter and around 4 cups of chopped Kataifi, which was probably about a cup short of using the whole 16-ounce box. Now once the toasted Kataifi has cooled to room temperature, all I have to do is mix my ingredients together. So I start with the pistachio cream, and I add the whole 21.2 ounce jar into a nice large bowl. I first toss in about a cup of the toasted Kataifi and about 2 tablespoons tahini and mix that all together. The filling, from what I can tell online, is super crunchy. So I want to pack in as much Kataifi as possible while still keeping a soft texture. So I add in another cup of that along with 2 more tablespoons of tahini, and once that's all mixed up, I'm done. This filling is soft enough that I can pipe it, so I add it into my piping bag and carefully pipe it into my milk chocolate shells. Fun fact, I actually decorated and shelled these bars weeks ago, maybe over a month ago actually. My first holdup for this video was waiting for the pistachio cream to come because it's like sold out everywhere, so it took a while to arrive. So while I waited, I decorated my molds, but then the cream arrived and I suddenly got really busy in life outside of chocolate. So my bars have been sitting in my wine cooler waiting for me to finish them. So in case you didn't know that, you can decorate and shell chocolate molds in advance. This can be really helpful during the holidays or other busy times. Anyway, as I'm piping, I'm trying my best to keep the filling below the top edge of the mold, but it can be kind of hard with uneven fillings like this. So once I'm done, I also take a mini offset metal spatula and just smooth and even things out a bit. Once I'm happy with them, I just set them aside. Now it's time for the homemade pistachio praline version. I'm only using this filling for 1 mold, so I didn't need to make as much. So I first split what I've made in half, and then I add 1 cup of Kataifi and 2 tablespoons of tahini and stir it together. This one is a bit thicker, so I don't bother with the piping bag. I just scoop it directly into the mold and then spread it in as evenly as I can. Next, I temper some milk chocolate and cap the bars just like normal. If you are new to the channel and have never seen this full process, check out some of the videos that I've linked down in the description. I have a ton of chocolate molding tutorials that you will find super helpful. Once the bars are capped, I let them all set up at room temperature before moving them into the fridge for 20 minutes to contract, and then it's my favorite part, time to unmold. All right, guys. Now, I don't normally eat on camera. That's not really my thing. But I feel like this wouldn't be a proper Dubai chocolate bar video unless I did a nice crunchy taste test. All right. I'm going to try the homemade praline version first because I don't think it's going to be as good for some reason. So this is how this one turned out. Trying to get my face. It's so heavy. To me, these are huge, but I wanted it to be authentic, so I bought the like original Dubai mold. Okay. Okay. It's actually pretty good. It doesn't taste like pistachios. The pistachios compared to the sugar flavor in the homemade praline is so little, like it becomes neutral. It tastes like caramelized sugar, and I told you guys in my last video with the homemade praline that part at the end where you have to remelt the sugar, it's really hard to not caramelize it to a really deep caramel. So yeah, this tastes like a really deep caramelized sugar with lots of nice crunchy texture, which is pretty good, actually. The flavor. The toasted Kataifi like really adds extra, and then the graininess of the praline is like wouldn't bother you at all because you're already going for like a really crunchy texture. So it probably just adds to the like flavor and texture of it because you're getting like the crunchy Kataifi, and then you're also getting the crunchy bits of praline and sugar that didn't get ground up. Okay, now I'm going to try the praline cream version, and to keep things similar, I'm going to use the one that I molded in the original bar mold. So here's what this one looks like. I really love this design. It reminds me of like abstract like leaves, or when the sun shines through leaves outside, like on a tree, how you can see like the veins. That's what this kind of reminds me of, how it turned out. Now, if I want to be really authentic, like the people on TikTok, I don't have fingernails, but they go like this. Okay, this is already cracking in half because it's so thick. It's so full. I'm excited to also try the thinner bars because I wonder if the ratio of chocolate to filling would be nice, but Here we go. Definitely a completely different flavor. Like they're not even the same taste, because the other one tastes like caramelized sugar and this one tastes like a pistachio version of Nutella. Like very sweet. You can actually taste the pistachio, which is nice because that's the whole point of the bar. It's pistachio flavored. And of course the Kataifi is that crunch that like, it's kind of what made this bar go viral because of the ASMR aspect to it, of when people bite into it, they're biting into the crunchy chocolate and then it's like crunch, crunch, crunch for the Kataifi. But yeah, the pistachio cream is basically like pistachio Nutella. Nutella is hazelnut and this is pistachio and it's like the same thing. Very similar texture. You can actually taste the pistachio flavor, whereas the homemade version tastes like sugar. I like it. People are flying to Dubai for this. People are paying $40 online to buy kits. People are traveling for these. Is it worth it? I don't know. One time with my pastry school friends, we drove through the middle of the night. I can't remember how many hours from Boston to New York City to stand in line for a cronut. So sometimes it's not about like, was the taste worth it? But like the whole fun of being like a part of something and like trying something that's gone viral and got popular. So I would say it's worth it. Plus, if you're watching this channel, you probably have the skills to make your own, so you don't have to like, you know, hunt one down. So I would say if you follow the recipe here, you'll get a good idea of what it tastes like, and I would say it's pretty good. I like it. Like, I would eat it again. And I have plenty to share with my family and friends, so people around me get to try it without having to go to Dubai. The other thing I was going to say, besides the fact that the homemade version just isn't the right taste, the color is important. This actually has a green color, and the homemade praline version is not the authentic green color. It's brown. It's like a brown color, a brown like caramelized sugar color. So I've just made a mess. That's my review. I would say definitely give it a try. It's pretty good. Wait, I'm back. I figured you guys might also want to see the bar, the snack bar. So here's the snack bar. And I'll take a bite for you. I love the design on this one. Like, I just feel like it fits the shape really well. And also, it's so fun to eat because they're like in little bite-sized pieces. And it reminds me of a cute little caterpillar. Guys, I haven't eaten anything today except this. Like, it's almost lunch and I haven't eaten breakfast and now I'm eating this chocolate. This one kind of got thin and it already kind of broke. But here's what it looks like. This one's nice and thin on the inside. I don't know if it will focus, but if you like the chocolate more than the filling, this will be the more of the style. I kind of like this ratio a lot, but yeah, it's more chocolate, so whatever you prefer. I hope that you liked today's video. If you did, like the video. I want to know if you've tasted the Dubai chocolate bar or if you've even made it yourself. Let me know all your thoughts down in the comments below. And be sure to keep an eye out for my next video, which will be a tutorial on the design of these green and gold chocolate bars. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, today's the day. If you'd like to see something else that's sweet, just click on one of these thumbnails Thanks so much for watching today, and I'll see you soon. Bye.